I don't want to make any enemies here, okay? I was very excited to try Popeyes because one of my favorite things to do when I'm in the United States of America is eat at chain restaurants that I'm very familiar with via advertising and marketing, but don't get the opportunity to actually try in Canada. There are Popeyes in Canada, but I don't know if there's any in the lower mainland. Either way. So it's like, sometimes you live in a city, you don't go to the tourist stuff in that city just because you always live there. You're like, I can go to Tellus World of Science whenever I want. Then all of a sudden you find yourself on vacation in San Francisco and you're like, let's go to the Science Museum, even though I could just go to the Science Museum in Vancouver. Sometimes you just find the opportunity. When you change the scenery, you change your behavior a little bit. Regardless, I do need to tell you as a preamble, we did not order Popeye's chicken sandwiches because we were feeding a family of 10 people. So I didn't want to have people, hey, can I get a Popeye spicy chicken sandwich with no mayonnaise? Hey, can I get one with extra lettuce? Hey, I want the red beans and rice as my side. Oh, and then 4 orders of French fries. And can we get the spice? Anyway, long story short, we got the classic Popeyes fried chicken, enough biscuits that everybody could have 1.5 each, coleslaw, French fries, and I gotta tell you, it's better than KFC, but when I was eating the Popeyes, I was like, I don't get it, man. It's not that special. It wasn't bad, and it was like, I think if you ran the numbers, it probably came out to like $7 American per person, which is sort of unbelievable. But at the same time, like when people talk about Popeyes, like just in general, when people talk about fried chicken, they are like, it inspires fierce debate. It's not that good. It was fine. The chicken was decent. The biscuit, I don't know. The biscuit was tasty, but so is every biscuit. Like people were talking about the biscuit like it's the most incredible thing in the world. And I ate it and I was like, it's a tasty biscuit, but it's like at the end of the day, it's not like blowing my mind or anything. Would I have another one? Sure, I would have another one, but it's not like revolutionary. I'm not saying I expect it to everything has to be overloaded and filled. There's got to be a gochujang honey slurry in the middle of it. It's just like, I enjoyed the meal, but then the other thing is like I love salty food. Salt is my vice and graphic design is my passion. After 2 pieces of Popeyes, I was like, I need to moisturize. I'm so dried out. And it actually kind of worked out because we then went for like a 2.5-hour drive home. So it was nice to be dehydrated so I didn't have to go to the bathroom. But like I was drying out, dude. So yeah, as far as listen, I know everybody's got their own opinions. If you're asking me, Mod Pizza stays above Popeyes without a doubt. It's not even close for me, just for me. Never had Mod Pizza? Listen, it's not going to change your life either, but I would rather have it than Popeyes. Also, I'm getting pissed off because we had leftover Mod Pizza that we kept in our hotel fridge. You know what? The reheating instructions are so unhelpful. It might as well say on the box to reheat, build your own 700 degrees Fahrenheit brick oven. It says, for best reheating results, preheat your oven to 550 degrees Fahrenheit. You know what we call that where I come from? Self-clean. If you've never used the self-cleaning function on your oven, it is not a button you press that shoots oven cleaner out of like some jets. It basically just gets so hot that all the shit that's stuck to the sides of the oven like burns and falls off, and then you scrape the oven out later. I don't even know if my oven... I honestly don't think my oven goes to 550. I think it might go to 500. I cooked the pizza. Me too. I watched 72 hours of Baby Shark content. I played charades and Mysterium and Pictionary with my nieces. I watched, no joke, is at family Christmas, I watched my nieces absolutely dominate that co-op Mario Party on Switch where you're in the raft. And then they had to eat breakfast. They passed the Joy-Cons to their older cousins who are 17 and 15, and they tanked the whole run. They couldn't figure out how to paddle to avoid the rocks. They couldn't figure out, they missed all the balloons that give you the mini games that allow you to have extra time. Like, dude, I'm not, when I was a kid, it was the 15-year-olds and the 17-year-olds that were the dominant gamers. What, all this damn, All this damn time they're spending on TikTok, they forgot how to game, man. It's the erosion of society. Am I the worst uncle of all time? It's possible. Okay, so like one of, he's not really like a nephew, so I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, okay? My wife's mom, so that's my mother-in-law, has a brother, okay? So that's her uncle, my wife's uncle. My wife's uncle has two kids. Sorry about the phrasing here, okay? My wife's uncle has two kids. So I think it's my wife's cousin. And I don't know, that's my cousin-in-law. They're 17 and 15 just due to the age differences between my mother-in-law and my wife's uncle. My mother-in-law and her brother, to make it as simple as possible. We were trying to figure out what to get the 17-year-old boy for Christmas, because I have not seen him since he was 8, okay? He said, I'm getting into investing. Excuse me, what is that message? What is that tab? It's driving me crazy. Did you hear that tab? Or did you hear that badunk? Yes? That was Google Chat? Do I even have a Google Chat? I do have a Google Chat open right now. I have a second Chrome window. Okay, sorry, close that up. He said he's getting into investing. You know what I bought him? Well, actually, it was my used copy. But anyway, you know what I gave him? A copy of the #1 investing book on the planet. If you're getting into investing, any time that you spend reading tweets from people who are like, they have Marcus Aurelius or something in their avatar, please spend an equal amount of time reading one book, simply one book, called A Random Walk Down Wall Street by Burton Malkiel. Here's the thing, okay, as I start the casino here with Will We Make the Finals? He's 17. He may read the book. He may not read the book. It's not my responsibility to change his life, you know? You can lead a horse to water. Maybe he'll drink it and decide that... or maybe drink it. Maybe he'll read it and decide, that he likes what it's talking about. Or maybe, on the other hand, he will read it and say, this is boring as hell. I'm going into 10x leveraged long NASDAQ ETFs. Or maybe he'll say the stock market is rigged. I'm just going to buy Cumcoin or something like that. I don't know. But I've read them all. I've read the Peter Lynch's and I've read, I haven't read Security Analysis, but I can pretend. I've read Jason Zweig, Introduction to the Revised Edition of The Intelligent Investor. The rest of the book is insanely boring. I gave him the cream of the crop, okay? Next year he's going to be like, nah, I'm into like cars now. That's fine. By the way, I don't really want to go off, but I have like a bone to pick with the Cheesecake Factory. Turns out we were staying relatively close to a Cheesecake Factory because we stayed in a hotel because my in-laws' house was like totally packed. My wife loves the Cheesecake Factory. When I walked to Target, which, by the way, was like 0.2 miles away, but took me 15 minutes to walk to the Target because there's no way to cross. There's no sidewalks, and you can't cross the street in the United States of America. You have to walk 7 blocks this way until you get a light that changes to a walk sign once every 5 minutes, and then you cross the street. They give you 3 seconds to cross 8 lanes, and then you got to walk 7 blocks back the other way. Anyway, long story short, I took a photo of the Cheesecake Factory because my wife loves the Cheesecake Factory. So we said, you know what, tonight we'll treat our guests. We'll all get like takeout from the Cheesecake Factory. It was Christmas Eve at the Cheesecake Factory. It's a busy time, okay? I don't know why I'm sitting down. We do curbside pickup at the Cheesecake Factory. First time in my entire life, I'm doing curbside pickup, okay? Usually I walk into the restaurant. We park at exactly the time the Cheesecake Factory tells us to park. We park in a spot called curbside pickup. We wait there 15 minutes, 20 minutes, no response, okay? So finally, I go inside of the restaurant. Because the parking lot has space for 13,000 cars, I go inside of the restaurant. Takes me 15 minutes to walk from my car into the restaurant. I get into the restaurant, there's 13,000 people waiting in there for a table. Unfortunately, the Cheesecake Factory, a pretty small restaurant, it only has 800 tables in it. So, I get up and I'm waiting in line to talk to the host so he can tell me to fuck myself. And while I'm waiting in line, I got a text. And the text said, hey, your order is ready. Tell me just text back the number of your parking spot and we'll bring it out to you. A nice robot texted me that. So I walk back into the parking lot and I'm looking in the parking spot for a fucking number. And there's like a little, like a plaque I'm about to get eliminated, by the way. The plaque does not have a number on it. This is ruthless. This is scary. I don't want to be with these gamers anymore. I get on my hands and knees. I'm looking under my car. There's no number painted on the spot. I go to the back of the car. I get on my hands and knees. There's no number on the spot at all. I text back, hey, we're in a curbside pickup spot. Here's the make and model of our vehicle. It's a pearlescent opal Bugatti Veyron. And then silence. Not 10, 15 minutes go by. I receive no response. Kate says, you should go back inside. I go back inside. I get back in the lineup to eventually talk to the host to tell me to go fuck myself. Everyone else in the Cheesecake Factory is like looking at me with hostility because they're like, hey, we're waiting for a table. And I'm like, I know, I just got to go talk to this guy so he can tell me to fuck off. And then, so I'm waiting in the line for like 15 minutes. And at this point, it's been 4 hours trying to just get my skinny-licious Mexicana salad. And then I get a text from my wife that says, hey, come back. They brought out the food. And I'm like, did the software developers consult a customer at any given moment in the process of building this automated curbside pickup system? How about a confirmation text that is like, we got your text and we'll bring your food out when it's available? How about a confirmation text that is like, hey, we just delivered your food. Enjoy your skinny-licious salad from the Cheesecake Factory. Download our app to get some reward points, blah, blah, blah. Instead, it was just like, you know, shit was driving me crazy. Anyway, the food was pretty good, though. Also, it was blowing my mind, because originally I was looking for, like, a healthy salad. Harvest chicken salad with a vinaigrette. Came to, like, 1,300 calories. Then I remembered, oh, if you want something that's good for you, at the Cheesecake Factory, you have to go to the Skinny-licious menu. I got a Skinny-licious Mexican salad. It was 500 calories. Shit was, like, this big. It was, like, the size of a large pizza pan. What are they doing with the 1,700 calorie salad must have been like served in a trough. What's better, Cheesecake Factory or Popeyes? Cheesecake Factory is better. -2, I'm sorry. It's I don't know, man. Just wasn't that impressed with the Popeyes. Yeah, Popeyes is fast food. Is it? I guess it's not an American thing. But you are probably American, so I'm going to say that it's an American thing. People are always like, yeah, of course Popeyes is bad. I eat it because I hate myself. Just stop with the negative self-talk. Of course, dude, of the food that tastes like shit and makes me feel like shit, Popeyes is amongst the best. No, just like, be kind to yourself, okay? You deserve it. Okay, this is for Birdie. It's a bit of a putt. We want to be full power. Pretty minor bend, but it's a long distance. Oh! Nobody in the history ever thought this day would ever end. Even with a little style on it at the end of the day. Holy cow. Also, when we were eating the Popeyes. We were talking about American fast food chains. We had the classic In-N-Out versus every other burger chain debate. My in-laws they went to school in California and they lived there for a long time, so they were big into In-N-Out. Cade and I we're on the Shake Shack. The Shake Shack grind. We're eating the Popeyes. My sister-in-law says, "Hey, you know they opened the Shake Shack like a couple miles down the road." I'm like, "Oh, son of a." Why are we out here debasing ourselves with Popeyes? We could have gotten a flat of Shack burgers. Probably would have cost us like $400, but, you know, some things are priceless. In-N-Out do be kind of mid. I mean, I think I don't know how many times I've had this discussion, but, like, I think that the burger at In-N-Out is pretty good. And I always feel bad because anytime someone likes In-N-Out, I'm like, you're right, because it's not healthy, but it's certainly like, wow, what a chip. It's certainly like more real than a lot of fast food fries, but the fries are like so not impressive at all. So I was like, I told my brother-in-law, I was like, I like the burger. I think it's pretty good, but the fries are like some of my least favorite fries. And he's like, you know, they make them with real potatoes. And I'm like, I know. Whatever they're doing, they need to honestly add like some more artificial stuff into the French fries. I was driving. Honestly, like, it wasn't that bad. Once we got out of Canada, I mean, okay, actually, so we were driving to the US on Christmas Eve. Our daughter was in the backseat with her iPad. We get almost to the point, we're probably like, 5 miles away from the border. She throws up. It happens. Kids get car sick. But she had drank like, a pint of chocolate milk in the morning. So she threw up like all over herself and all over her car seat. And then Kate was like, you got to pull over. So at the earliest opportunity, I pulled off to the side. By the time I did, she had thrown up on herself like another 2 times. So Kate and I took like half an hour at the side of the road in the slush and the freezing rain, just changing her. And all we had to clean up were like wet wipes. So we're using the wet wipes to like clean all this vomit out of the car. That part was a little annoying, but the driving was fine. And honestly, we laughed. You just gotta laugh about it sometimes. And then, like, no disrespect to the noble people of Washington, but I made that tweet that was like, how are the roads in Washington State right now? In northwestern Washington State? People were like, I got some honest replies. And then I got some replies from people that are like, they are horrendous. Do not drive right now. We crossed the border. It was bare pavement. It was like the most ideal road conditions you could ever ask for. We've all seen the TikToks of the cars sliding around, but like the interstates and the side streets were totally fine. I crashed my car in New West. I left my wallet in El Segundo, and you don't hear me writing the iconic 90s rap song about it. What Pokemon cards did your nieces pop? I don't even, like, I'm not qualified. I was in charge of looking up the TCG player price list for all these cards. And even I don't understand how to look them up. What the hell is Secret? What the hell is Rainbow? What the hell is VMAX? VMAX alt art? I don't even know what the default art is. What the hell is the alt art? It's not possible to look them up. That being said, ooh, baby. I am loving this. Oh, I really thought that could be the one, dude. Oh, I really thought that could be the one. As someone who's opened some Magic the Gathering booster boxes in my life, I think it was like a once-in-a-lifetime booster box. They got like almost every chase rare from Silver Tempest. Again, I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm talking about. But when I was looking up the price list, they got that like Lugia VMAX that was like $210. And then they got like 4 other Lugias. They got one Lugia that was like, I think it's just the mythic rare version, full stop. Then they got one that was like rainbow colored. Then they got one that was like silver colored. They got a Regia Drago V, a mythic rare hollow, energy, super energy or something. Like, I honestly worried that we were giving them like, it was a bad lesson for them. Because they're going to think that they're, like, innately lucky. Like, their first data point for gambling is, like, this booster box was, like, $100, and they got, like, $215 worth of value out of it. Are they actually going to sell it? No. Nobody sells it. They just say, holy cow, I spent $120 on this booster box. I got $200 worth of value. Then you put the cards in sleeves, and then you put them in your closet, and then you die, and, like, your nephew clears them out in the 2070s or something like that. That's the way it goes. Hey, NL, I drank 3 different kinds of alcohol last night and threw up my cocktail. Thoughts? It's just, honestly, it's a hard lesson to learn. But the older you get, you very slowly start to chip the lesson together, like out of a slab of marble, that it's just not worth it, man. Like, one drink, I'm chilling. I'm like, this is amazing. Second drink, I'm like, I'm even more chill. But somewhere around like the end of the second drink, sorry, wrong bet, at least as like a man in his 30s, you can feel like the vitamins being leached out of your body. And that's it. Like after when you're 28, you might be like, yeah, I'll take another one. But now that I'm 34, I'm like, no, that's good. I'm good. And now I'm just going to go home and be like, why am I so tired? And then like just sort of sit there and like watch TV for 45 minutes and work through the alcohol dehydrogenase and then like, go have a productive rest of my day. Stop blaming your age. Okay, I don't drink enough to have a tolerance that allows me to drink levels of alcohol that are that toxic for my organs, including my heart, my brain, my liver, obviously, kidneys, my skin. I do drink on occasion, but I try to keep it, in moderation, because bragging about how much you drink is like only cool when you're 18 and you're talking to other 18-year-olds. When you're like 34, people start to be like, are you all right? Like it's not even the Christmas party. Okay. We don't have a ton of time. That's what I want. That's too much. No, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's completely fine. Whoa! Blue sparks? People are so like anti-backspin pilled. It's how I know like you're not cut out for, like, no offense, but anything. Because you're only looking at the most recent data points. Does backspin occasionally end up being a bad decision? Yeah. Has using backspin made our approach game like 1,000 times better than it used to be? Yes. You have to look at the area under the curve of the graph, not just the derivative of the most recent point. Also, it's just fun. Yeah, I love when you land it and it goes. You stock up on calculus analogies? No, my niece, she's only in the 5th grade. So she recently started learning linear algebra. In her public school, she's learning the multiplication tables up to 12. And in Kumon, she's learning how to do the Taylor series right now. So she's not quite at calculus yet. Taylor series is calculus. I was talking about a series of Taylor Swift songs. Are you going to put your daughter in those after-school academies? Honestly, it's a conversation for me to have, like, with my wife. So my in-laws, and thus, like, my nieces, they're involved in everything, They have school, of course. That's, like, the bare minimum. Then they have, like, some after-school additional education, like Kumon. They also do sports. And on top of that, they have quite a crowded social calendar for, 2 kids who are 12 and 8. That seems like a little crazy for me, but maybe that's because I haven't, eased myself into that. But like the dad gets off work at like 5. He's like, I gotta go. Like the kids are at home because the mom picked them up. So now I gotta go home and pick up the kids and I gotta take them to Kumon. And then I'm just gonna sit in my car for 45 minutes at Kumon. And then I'm gonna take them to, soccer academy or whatever, because everything's an academy now. That seems too much for me. At the same time, I think I am kind of a tiger dad. And we've talked about it a lot before. Oh! There's like a generational oscillation. My parents grew up without having a lot of money. So they, had to help out a ton at home. They had to get jobs when they were able to get jobs. And they said, when we are parents, we're going to let our kids be kids. And then I was I got eliminated after that incredible hole. Good luck, VIP Daniel, and all the rest. So they said, like, when we're going to be parents, we're going to let our kids be kids. So I was one of those kids. And, like, from 13 to, like, 17, I was doing fucking nothing, dude. Which is fine. But, like, it's not like those were even, like, incredible memories or anything. No disrespect to my parents. I love them. But, like, I was just, like, playing way too much Halo. So I know how much free time a child has after school if they don't fill it with something. I'm not saying they have to be at, Hagwon for 5 hours after school, and then they start doing their real school homework at like 10 p.m. and they go to bed at 12:30 because then they've got a hagwon homework, and then they got to wake up at 5 for gymnastics or whatever. I don't see myself doing that, but I definitely do see putting my daughter in like a lot of activities. And I know this sounds like this is like a bad take, and I'm willing to own it because it's kind of what I believe. Also feel like depending on the school she goes to, like, honestly, depending on like her level of scholastic ability, the public school curriculum is like not enough. It needs like some supplementation, not to get her to the point where she's like ready for society, but just because she's probably, if she's relatively bright and she tries kind of hard, then she's gonna be bored. And then you're like, your ass is like bored in the 11th grade. So weirdly enough, you're like, this shit is too easy. You actually end up doing worse on it because you're like, I don't care about it anymore. You're like, I'm just gonna put in like the bare minimum level of effort to be like at least contented. And then, I just think, yeah, I don't know. That's just my take as someone who, like, it happened to me. Or she could become like a pro Halo player. I'm not pandering. This is my real opinion. If anything, like, chat's pandering to me because normally I'm like, kids should have 10 hours of homework a night. And people are like, I want you to die. Now people are like, hey, he's right. Let him cook. Because I think, like, weirdly enough, Kate is like she's more chill about the school stuff. And I'm like the tiger dad who's like, there is literally no excuse if you're in, but like, again, this is not a great take. There's no good excuse if you're in public school to not at least be getting like B pluses. Like if you come home with like a C plus in the 4th grade, it's military school. I'm sorry to tell you, like, but like what bro, it's spelling. It's spelling. Now, again, it's kind of like, it's a funny take considering I play video games like mediocre with mediocrity for a living, but... Oh! Oh, let's go. Would you be able to do that shot if you didn't play Halo for 12 hours a day in your youth? Listen, the way I think about like my own job, my place in life, is that essentially I got like insanely lucky. And it's hard, that makes me bad at like teaching lessons. Because like, for lack of a better term, because I don't even know what his relation is to me, I just think of him as like a nephew. For a while, he wanted to be like a YouTuber and a Twitch streamer, and he's like, do you have any advice? And I'm like, I don't know, not at all. Like, it sounds like I'm just trying to get rid of you, which I'm not, but like be born in the early 90s or the late 80s. Like, that's basically that's the cheat code. I'm not saying you can't, because the other advice is just like, like you're 17 right now. Give it a go for like 8 years as hard as you can, and then if it doesn't work, like take up a trade. I feel like I push back on this. I remember there was like a roundtable episode where like I push back on this. I have a respect for education and even to some extent the education system, which I feel like is not a take that a lot of streamers have. People will say like, well, you spent all that time in college and all that money, and look at you now. And I'm like, well, yeah, but like my ass just got like crazy lucky. If I was in charge 100% of someone else's life, what I would do is be like, hey, you can basically just like fuck around until you're like in the 7th grade. And then in the 7th grade, if you just like work pretty hard in one direction, you could just get like an amazing job and live a comfortable life. You don't have to start in the 7th grade, but because we were talking with my nephew and I was like, man, it's crazy. Like, as a 34-year-old, I'm like, dude, imagine, I'm talking to this 17-year-old, and well, mostly I'm listening to, his closer family talk to him. You don't appreciate it when you're 17, but imagine, like, nobody expects you to do shit until you're, like, 25 anyway. Imagine if you could just pick a direction and work on it for, like, 8 years. Your ass would be in, like, the Hall of Fame for whatever you chose. But then, the reason you'd be in the Hall of Fame is because, like, nobody does it, myself included. Because when you're 17, you're like, I don't know what I want to do. And also, I, like, don't want to do that shit. I want to spend time with my friends and I want to have fun and I'm just becoming an adult. So I definitely feel like if I went back to being like 17 years old, I would live my life like I was in the military and I would have no friends. And then like 10 years after that, I would be the CEO of a blockchain startup. My true dream in life. Insane take? Listen, we gotta stop calling reasonable opinions you disagree with insane takes, okay? I was literally talking about what I would do if you took my mind and time traveled it back into my 17-year-old body, okay? I'm a dude, you're a dude, he's a dude. We're all dudes. That's Kel Mitchell from Good Burger. You could just say, interesting take, but I disagree. You don't have to say, what an insane take. I mean, that's called an ad hominem attack. Who are you, Ryan Johnson? He was a boy. She was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? That's damn true. He was a punk. She did ballet. What more can I say?
Nice shot.
I love this shot. Everybody wanted me to club up, and I said no.
Nice on.
What if Tom Cruise did one of those, like the spots that he's doing now before the movies, where he's like, hey everybody, my name's Tom Cruise, just wanted to say thank you for making Top Gun Maverick the #1 movie at the box office this year. It feels good to be back at the movies. Now, I'm gonna cut off the tip of my penis with a pair of scissors. What if he did that, but instead of for like Mission Impossible, it was like you see him take out the scissors and then it like when he cuts, it fades to black and then the trailer for the movie plays and it's just based on Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy. I'm just a boy asking a girl to see if I'm good enough for her. Also, we got a 3-way tiebreaker for first place here thanks to that eagle. Holy cow. Holy cow. Bro, we gotta spoon this, but at the same time, we cannot spoon this. So I honestly, with God as my witness, I think we just need 3-iron, full speed, no backspin. Full speed is 3-piece because we're in the rough. Well, that's how we drew it up. I'm gonna definitely be further than that individual. Turns out some backspin would have been nice. Well, still, honestly, it's not a bad approach. Please emancipate yourself from the chains of grind set thinking. Excuse me, I'm not a grind set Andy. I think my take on, and this is not a grind set take, holy cow, what an approach. They're incredible golfers. I'm not even upset at all. I think back to when I was a teenager. It's not that I should have been on the grind set. I just should have been like I should have had like a hobby. It's not really my parents' fault. We just happen to live in the suburbs. Will we win in the finals? No. And like, you know, I got my driver's license when I was 16, but both of my parents drove to work. So I was like, here I am with like a piece of paper that lets me drive, but I got nowhere to go. I'll just go to, I'll walk to Jumbo Video and then go rent a Bubba Hotep again. Have enough free time that you're not super stressed. I don't think there's a whole lot of reasons for like, you know, a 15-year-old kid to be stressed. But definitely like have enough going on that you're not like, hey, I spent 4 hours after school on a Thursday playing a video game that I only enjoyed for like 30 minutes. And then like after that, I just played 3.5 hours out of like inertia where I was like, I don't have anything else to do. So I guess I'll just keep playing this game that I think is just not even really that entertaining. It's just sort of like whiling the time away. You don't need to be grinding. Like you don't have to have a side hustle when you're 12 or whatever. But like, and it's not even the kid. It's like I think it's the parent's responsibility to try to strike that balance. And it's it's hard. Why are you describing me? Because it was fucking me too, idiot. So people are like, I'm 17, but I don't think that's how I'll think when I'm 22. Well, I fucking passed that. I went through the looking glass, bitch. I'm not saying everybody feels the same way. I'm just saying, it's a lot easier to relate once you've actually reached that point instead of trying to shake a Gudetama magic 8-ball when it says ask again later. Except you're a success now. Yeah, but it was like pure luck. That's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't pure luck, but it was heavily luck influenced. That's why I feel like, if your dad has like a good union job, he was like, I am out here like fitting pipes so that my kid can do whatever they want. As the kid who got to do whatever he want, I'll admit that it worked out, but it was a lot of luck. And secondarily, now as a dad, I'm like, get a good union job, sweetheart. Learn how to do something with your hands. That's not going out of style. Robots, though, listen, I'm not worried about AI. Here's the thing, dude, you see the one that was like, the robots are not going to take our jobs? And it was like, when I was 6, my sister was half my age. Now I'm 70. How old is she? And like the AI doesn't get it right consistently. Why are you asking Chat GPT-3 math questions? There's like a little device you can have in your fucking pocket. It comes default with every single smartphone, and you can just put numbers into it and it will spit them out 100% correct every single time. That doesn't seem like that's the sort of thing that is really gonna separate Chat GPT-3 from other tools. Anyway, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I just thought it was a bad faith question to ask a robot, okay? Obviously robots are better than us at math. Just because Chat GPT-3 got confused by your slightly ambiguous question doesn't mean it's bad. That being said, I know people, they post that Chat GPT-3 stuff and they're like, look at how almost real it looks. And I'm like, yeah, this like, you guys need to, listen, this is an elitist take. Maybe Chat GPT-4 will be better. Ooh! But you gotta like read more books. Obviously you've looked at enough pictures in your life that you understand the concept of the uncanny valley. Hasn't stopped you from fetishizing it, but you do understand the concept. But people are not well read enough that they have an uncanny valley for text. When the text is like too smooth, do you know what it is? When I read Chat GPT-3 responses, I'm like, this fucker talks too much like me. And that's how I know he's not real. Because I'm the only person on earth who gives directions to people and explanations like I'm talking to a computer. Hey, how do you do the dishes? Well, first, I take my right hand and I grab one of my dishwashing gloves and I insert my hand into the glove and then I pull it until my fingers, the tips of my fingers, touch the tip of the glove. Then, using my gloved hand, I take my other dishwashing glove and put it on my right hand and pull it until the tips of the water, or the tips of the finger touch the edge of the glove. Then you get the idea. But that's not how real people talk. That's how nerds talk. Here's a philosophy that, because people are like, why use gloves? Why use gloves? Here's a philosophy that has helped me out a lot as I've gotten older, okay? Because I used to be, hey, it's -10 outside, but grabbing my winter coat, which will obviously make me more comfortable, would take 15 seconds. That's not what, is it worth 15 seconds to feel comfortable for half an hour? No, I'm not going to take that trade. As I've gotten older, having another person in my life, in this case, my wife, is very helpful because she'll say things like, what are you, stupid? We're going to be outside for like 2 hours. Are you sure you don't want a winter coat? And then I go, you know what? That makes a lot of... And then I put my winter coat on. It takes 15 seconds. And I'm outside. And I'm like, whoa, the outside feels just like the inside thanks to this winter coat. And then I have a much better time. Same thing with the dishwasher gloves, you know? Why do I need to build like asbestos hands? Dude, this is going in. With some backspin, this is in the damn hole.
Nice shot.
When instead I could just put the gloves on. Oh, you... Just turn the water temp down. Or you could just wear the gloves, okay? Just do X. Like, it doesn't work the way you think it does. If you're like, oh, the water's too hot for my hands. Okay, then wear gloves, dummy. Anybody can come at this with a bad faith take. My green! Dishes wash better in the hottest water you got. So I wear the gloves, and then I crank the water up. And then you go, oh, this is where, oh, the climate emergency. Listen, I use a solar panel during sunny days. That feeds into a battery. And then the battery doesn't get and the battery is not made of lithium. It's made of something that you don't have to mine from Bolivia, okay? It's made of something like, it's powered on sarcasm, which we have in spades. And then I turn it on for exactly the minimum amount of time in order to get the water hot enough to clean my dishes, because I believe in germ theory, okay? So I don't want there to be any caked on grime or grease, because then I might get food poisoning, which I didn't think was real until it happened to me, because I'm a narcissist. Okay, have I constructed a fortress to defend myself from these bad faith takes? Herman Miller's not too happy today. He's doing whale songs. Holy cow, that's a lot of birdies. What is this? How dare you? How dare you? Hey, thanks for getting birdies, you assholes. Now we're all dead. Thanks for making the tide rise to the level that it killed all of us instead of just you. I really appreciate it. Anyway, but that means, golf, you got to do your best. So I acknowledge that that's all you were doing there. I'm not actually mad. Actually, Herman cut ties with Miller. So I'm sitting on a Herman Miller. If you're up in her DMs right now, then maybe you're like Jan Levinson, hold the Gould, but I am sitting on a hyphenated chair right now, just so you know. Is the Herman Miller worth it? I have no idea. I decided at some point that I was not the kind of guy who's going to sit on a gamer chair into my 40s. So I said, what is the best office chair? And everybody says Herman Miller. So I trust the ergonomic experts, and I trust the spinal specialists, etc., but I have absolutely no idea whether it's worth it. My back does not hurt much. And when it does hurt, I don't think it's because of the chair. I think it's because I'm carrying my daughter like all the time. Do you have a stand-sit desk? I do. I have a convertible stand/sit desk, or as I like to call it, a sit desk. Oh, man. How often do you stand at it? Once when I installed it to make sure the switch worked. Then I plugged in all of my cords, and they're so tight, I would never risk it again. I would end up looking like, you see that? I don't forget. I think it's a Speed clip, and I don't even know who Speed is, except that I know he's a streamer, and he's like 17. But he won the Fortnite game, and then he stands up on the arms of his gamer chair and starts twerking. And then he fell down, and then like a second later, his desk fell on him with all of his monitors on it. That is what I worry would happen if I press this button right here. Oh, careful. I got no water, man. That's how I know my Peloton ride was hard today. I basically drained both water bottles. Just doing a classic 45-minute Emma Lovewell 90s ride. One of the 2 rides she's ever made where she didn't use Good by Better Than Ezra. You know that one? It was good living with you. It was good. You know that it's a good song. Don't be a hater. You remember that one that goes, I am barely breathing. She is barely there. Something on a hoodoo, pretending that you care. You know that one? I am belly breathing. Okay, it's someone is common posting from Sesame Street. Bro, I got a theory about science, by the way, and people are not gonna like this one. I just don't believe, and this might sound crazy, I don't believe that matter is made up of atoms. It just seems like hard to imagine for me. Like, you're telling me if I look at like a single ice cube There's like trillions, or I don't even know, like bazillions of water molecules in there. It just seems like it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Like, you really expect me to believe that there in a mole of water there's 6.02 times 10 to the 23? How could you possibly know that with any degree of specificity? What do you have, like the world's greatest microscope or something? Like, how do you even see all that? How do you see all that supposed those atoms? Oh no, Apollo's here. Here we go. What's the bit here? I don't know. It's just that, like, I guess atoms are like too small to believe in. They're like the tooth fairy. Like, here's the thing. If I saw one, I guess I would just I'm not afraid to apologize and say, like, okay, now it exists. That doesn't bother me. Like, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong much of the time. Like, everybody, you guys think you're so smart because you, like, believe in the theory of the atom or whatever, but all you're doing is trusting some guy called Niels Bohr. And I'm choosing to trust myself instead. Like, you didn't do the research. How do you know that Niels Bohr is a trustworthy guy? Yeah, I'm doing my own research. Me and your mom are going to do a little double slit experiment tonight. It's a sex joke, not a joke about violence. Yeah, I was talking about the Pokemon cards that my nieces pulled. I don't even know how to convey what the cards are, because there's so many variants and VMAX and full art, alt art, secret, mystic rare, mythic rare. But they got like every... Wow, that's just milk bread. Congratulations. This is a great performance. You won by 11 points. They pulled every Lugia that exists. I'll tell you that for sure. They pulled the $200 one. They pulled the base like $10 one. They pulled two $30 ones. They pulled them all. Are they big into Pokemon? Not really, but now I think they're hooked on gambling. We've made a huge mistake. Cobalt, I haven't said anything negative about Magic the Gathering, okay? If anything, listen, I know I've said some negative stuff about Magic in my day, but at least, like, and this is, I'm taking a bullet here because chat's going to be furious. At least the cards in Magic are kind of cool. All the art for the Pokemon cards is, like, pure ass. No disrespect to the artists. I'm sure they did what they could with the material available. But, like, every Pokemon card, to me, just looks like an NFT. People are like, check out what I pulled! And it's like, it looks like if Han Solo was a plant and he was frozen in carbonite, then people were like, whoa, that looks fresh. And I'm like, well, don't lie to the poor people. It's not insulting to the artists, because all of them look like ass. If I said half of them look like ass, that would be, like, omega insulting. Because to the half that make the ass art. But they all look bad, so obviously something's gone wrong in, like, the project management stage. I'm insulting the executives, okay? I'm insulting the bureaucrats. The tradespeople are doing their best. Are you baiting? Well, kind of. If saying a real opinion you have that you know is going to be unpopular is baiting, then yes, I'm baiting. The atom stuff was baiting. I believe atoms are real. Simply because I believe Niels Bohr is smarter than me. The Pokemon art, I'm legitimately like, I don't know, I just don't get it, I guess. I guess if you grew up playing Pokemon Silver, like, it hits a part of your brain that I never built back then. Bro, I didn't even play Silver? I don't know what, you're calling me a weirdo. You're the one saying, like, oh, you look at a picture of like a airplane dragon looking back and you're like, oh, this is getting me pogged up. I'm going to put that shit on my damn wall. It's just, I don't know. It's something about the art style of Pokemon. I am not vibing with it. And also not really Magic, but I'll take Magic, like, in a heartbeat over the Pokemon art. People are like, Lugia is not an airplane. You're thinking of Latios. You hear yourself? You're making my point for me. I'm not baiting, dude. Okay, not every Magic card looks good. Like, if you ever want to have a laugh, Google, like, worst Magic the Gathering art. There's some really funny ones. Like, there's this crappy little card called Black Lotus. I don't even get it. What, like, it's supposed to be like a flower or something? Okay, just me? All right, I guess I'll go fuck myself then. Good luck, VIP Daniel. What a performance. You got an eagle and a birdie? That's crazy. Yeah, Black Lotus? No thanks. Give me White Lotus on HBO Max. I almost deleted prediction. I'd like to apologize for that. But like for real, I don't know, man. It's just I'm not saying the art is bad. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it looks bad to me because I have two eyes. I'm not. Who died and made me the arbiter of what's good and what's ass? You know. I'm just saying. By the way, I played Pictionary with my nieces. This is a quote. My word was popcorn. I drew a 3-dimensional bucket. Then I drew like 3 semicircles, like a popcorn kernel, and put an arrow like that goes into the bucket. They were like popcorn. Okay. They got it instantly. And then they said, wow, you're amazing at art. And I said, I'm really not. And they said, if that's bad, then good to you must be like Vincent van Gogh. I swear to you, and you know, you've seen me play Gardic and Pintarillo. I am insanely horrendous at translating an image from my brain to like a piece of paper. But they were so impressed. Apparently, I'm like one of the best popcorn drawers on the planet. I still remember Donald Duck. Every now and then I draw like a Peppa Pig or a Donald Duck or something. It did not get any better. My singing got a little bit better. Not much. But my art is still like really bad. I'm telling you, it happens. You know what the best part of going to see a live hockey game is? Is when your team has a player that does something that's an obvious penalty. Like they smash... Like they basically just board somebody, hit them from behind, cause their head to turn at like a 90-degree angle as their shoulders get crunched up against the boards, and then they crumble to the ice. And everyone in the audience goes, yeah! And then the ref puts his arm up and blows the whistle because it's the most obvious penalty you've ever seen. And then the whole crowd goes, boo! And then the dude that he hit doesn't get off of the ice for like 4 minutes. He just lies there motionless while like the trainer tries to restore consciousness to him. And then when he skates off the ice with the help of his teammates, everybody goes, yeah, that's what you like to see him get off the ice under his own power. It's a complete emotional arc from point A to point Z. People were like, he killed him! What? That's a penalty? I'm glad he's alive. Like that's the emotional cycle of hockey. In England, we sing Let Him Die when a footballer gets injured. Okay, first off, that's like messed up. Second off, that's a little hilarious. Thirdly, I think you can do that in a sport where like, listen, I'm not saying you can't get a grievous injury in football, but like, you're not wearing skates, and you're not, like, using a piece of timber to, like, push somebody up against a glass wall, right? Like, again, I'm not saying you can't get a horrible injury. But, like, there's times where you see someone, like, get hit in hockey, and you're like, that person is dead. Did you see John Tavares in the playoffs, like, 3 years ago? Where he was, like, half unconscious, and he was on his knees on the ice, and then he fell backwards, like his knees were bending the wrong way. He came back like 2 days later, and he was like, I'm fine. Yeah, a couple of people have had their throats slashed by a skate. What's wrong with my chair, man? Like, it's brutal, and not in like a good way. They should make butter skates, man. Like the same way they got butter knives. Should make butter skates. Like safety skates. You know how they have safety scissors for kids? Yeah, old hockey's even crazier, which is very funny. You know, like one of the all-time great Canadian sports moments is when Paul Henderson scored the series-winning goal in the 1972 Summit Series versus the USSR. And he just have what is the guy's name who does the broadcast? If you play that, any Canadian over the age of like 65, a tear will come to their eye. What they neglect to mention is the game before where Bobby Clark took his stick, like a baseball bat, and went, Fwah! And literally shattered a dude's leg. Okay, we're not going psycho ball on this one. Like literally gave him like a life-altering tibia injury. which really gave Canada the momentum to get back in the series. Well, that was bad. How's the bandage on the thumb? It's doing fine. It's doing great. We don't need gauze anymore. Raise your arms above your head. Wait, why do people keep trying to see my armpits, you weirdos? You think I can't see when you're clipping stuff? This is, you know what? I think we got to go a little psychotic here. Just a little bit psychotic. I'm trying to figure out how am I not going to get hit by this tree. We got to betwixt it a little. Something like, I don't know about that, man. You know what? Let's do it.
Nice shot.
I'd like to apologize to the believers. Hang on. I said hang on. Not the bark, please. Alright, it's done. That was out of bounds even? That's what I wanted to do. Never let him cook. I'll never let you 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 turn around. You guys like three-eye blind? Don't focus on this. Focus on the third eye blind. That's it. What do you mean this is BM? I'm the first person to finish the hole. Are bonita salmon big? Bro, how would I know? Do I look like a fucking fishologist? Whatever it's called? Piscologist? What is a fish studier called? All I remember when I was on that bus tour in Ketchikan, Alaska, the tour guide said, hey, does anyone know the names of all 5 types of salmon? Some like 9-year-old kid put up his hand. It was like king, chinook, sockeye. He named like every single one. And I was like, damn, what are they teaching kids these days, man? This is crazy. Did you come on the bus tour just to flex? I'm on vacation, buddy. You just relax. I'm here with my family, you jerk. I think he was a plant, honestly. Not like a, like chlorophyll, but like an industry plant. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I had to study before I get on the damn duck boat tour next time. How did you come joint with someone? What? How did I tie someone? Here come old flat top. He comes grooving up. Come join right now. Over me. Dum, dum, chicka, dum. Dude, hold on. That's kind of like a goated impression. Me on stage after the audience has already been warmed up by a superior opening act. I love to open the show with my impression of Come Together by the Beatles. Dum, dum, ticka, dum, dum. They would eat that up, man. They would be like, that is how that goes. Dum, dum, ticka, dum.
Nice shot.
So every... Oh, please. Oh, Elden Ring. More. Blue Sparks. Every hotel you go to,
Nice one.
there's a Bible and also the Book of Mormon. What if you bought 10,000 copies of Ninja's autobiography and you just started leaving it in every hotel room that you went to? And just put it next to them, next to the other books of power. I'm a hater. I was born a hater. I'm going to die a hater.
Nice pawn.
What are the first books you're going to buy for Luna? Bro, she has like a 200 book library. I mean, none of the, it's no classics. Like, there's no Anna Karenina in there. She's not ready for it. But she's got a lot of books that are like $1.99 each that are called like Going to the Dentist. For the men were deceived as there was another book. Dun 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 dun. Did I miss the Popeyes take? I've conditioned people to expect too much from the stream. Yes, you have missed the Popeyes bid 7 times, okay? And it's not that the Popeyes bid is just that I don't think that it's that good. And then you say, did you get the chicken sandwich? And I say, no, because we were buying food for like 10 people, so there were no special orders. We just got like we got 20 pieces or something like that. And then you say, what'd you get for the sides? I didn't choose the sides, okay? They chose coleslaw and French fries. Oh, you got to get the red beans and rice. Okay, I wasn't in charge of that. Maybe they should call the place Popeyes, semicolon, you have to get the red beans and rice, okay? Because what it's called is Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, and the ad goes, love that chicken from Popeyes. So, like, I got the chicken. Apparently, you're not supposed to order the chicken when you go to Popeyes. Who knew?
Nice shot.
Because America is a land that's very confusing. If a restaurant sells fried chicken, you're not supposed to buy the fried chicken there. Also, even though everybody gets their own entree, obviously every entree is meant to be split 5 ways. You're not supposed to eat a whole salad by yourself. No wonder it's 1,700 calories. They crushed up 1 tortilla chip in it. You literally post a 1,700 calorie salad from Cheesecake Factory, you get people in your mentions. It's probably the dressing. It's probably everything. You think I don't have a base understanding of thermodynamics? Also, can I give you a task? Here's something. I was using the Cheesecake Factory website on my phone to try to make the order. My wife texts her sister. Hey, what do you want from the Cheesecake Factory? Lady says jambalaya. Okay, first off, your family, so I'm not going to ask any questions, but there are some circling around in my brain right now. Then, here's your task. It's like playing IMDb races against Atrioc. Where would you expect to find jambalaya on the Cheesecake Factory menu? Is it in fish and seafood? Is it in pasta? Is it in specialties? Is it in entrees? Is it in Skinnylicious? Is it in soups? Is it in shareables? Is it in appetizers? Guess what? It's in pasta. Because it's jambalaya served on top of some linguine. Which was not in the original text, by the way. It was... So Kate's like, what is jambalaya? And I'm like, oh, it's like a Cajun sort of stew. It's got like some sausage in it, something. It's got some shrimp. It's got some... Usually it's served on top of rice. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell to get to find that on the Cheesecake Factory menu. Because everything is like, it's not named after what it is. It's named after like what you feel when you eat it. Is it in zesty? Zesty favorites? I don't know. Anyway, it was in pasta. Oh, that can happen on a physics context? Isaac Newton is rolling in his grave right now? It did a ring around the rosy and got spat out the same way it came in? What is this, Gator Golf? I saw someone say effing Canadians, man. Listen. When you have this kind of like, when you have such a large sphere of influence that the world is part of your sphere of influence, you should learn to have a thicker skin and take some criticism about fast casual chain restaurants. Dude, no, leave Cheesecake Factory alone. That's where I take my grandma for her birthday. I'm not saying we don't eat there. I'm just saying why is the salad so high calorie, and why is the menu needs a sort function and a search function. You can't order it. Like the restaurant could not have existed prior to the invention of computers because the menu is too big for a human being to actually find what they're looking for. It sounded derogatory. Well, it's derogatory in the sense that I don't think it should be legal to sell a 1,700 calorie salad to one person. But like that's just my own, hang-ups, I guess. Can't buy 1,700 calories, but a pizza's okay. Well, a 1,700 calorie salad is like a lie. That's basically it. I'm not saying that people are under the delusion that all salads are good for you, but when you see a salad and it's like spinach, chicken, cherry tomatoes, red onions, a couple of walnuts, and vinaigrette, you're like, that's probably good for you. Then you look at it as 1,700 calories. People have the audacity to Isaac Newton's plane. There's probably a lot of dressing. There's probably a lot of everything, okay? The whole thing is it's just too fucking big. When a salad is like crispy chicken Caesar salad, crispy Cobb Waldorf Astoria salad, and then I look at it and it's like fucking bacon, pork belly, fried chicken, creamy ranch dressing. I'm like, okay, 1,700 calories, sure, I believe that. When it's called like a Harvest Fresh chicken garden salad, you're like, okay, what is it? It's probably like, 400 calories? No, it's literally 4.25 times that. It's crazy, man. And then they have people have the audacity to say, like, what'd you expect? Everybody, didn't you read the required reading before you went to Cheesecake Factory? Every entree is meant to be split 3 ways. Every salad also doubles as a shareable appetizer that should be split between half a dozen people. I don't know. Listen, it's been a while since I did fractions, okay? I'm more of like a decimal guy. There's no P.F. Chang's. Dude, there was a P.F. Chang's there. I honestly wish I went to the P.F. Chang's. I know it's not good for you, but I would go hard on some lettuce wraps, man. I would go hard on some lettuce wraps. I know it's not exactly haute cuisine, but some like refreshing lettuce, lightly breaded chicken, little sweet and sour sauce, chow mein, crunchy chow mein noodles, maybe some peanuts on there. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'd like eating food that's bad for me. I just don't want to be insulted. Like, if I'm eating food that's like crispy chicken, Nashville, hot chicken waffle, I'm like, okay, let's go for it. But if I'm like, I'm going to try to be a little bit more sensible. And you're like, hey, you had no problem. We have a large variety of 4-digit calorie salads. Like, can you just stop that? And then people, I don't know if it's like a self-loathing thing, but they're like, well, that's what happens when you get salad with dressing. No, it fucking isn't in like the rest of the world, and also probably like 80% of the restaurants in the United States, to be fair. They're like, if you want to eat healthy, you should just have like a bowl of lettuce with 1 cherry tomato. No, you don't. You're under the boot of the corporation. You don't understand. You have alternatives. I left for the gym an hour ago. You're still talking about Cheesecake Factory? We went on a journey. There were other bits in the meantime. Okay? People were asking. They said, give me the Popeyes bit, and then I couldn't help myself. Now that Elizabeth Holmes is in prison for 11 years, are you going to stop doing the voice? Well, like, we're like a year away from people forgetting who she is, and that means we're like 4 years away from the think pieces that are like, actually, she was girl bossing. We should let her out of prison early. Listen, I didn't really think through where this take is going to go, but like, I know she did like some pretty terrible stuff, but like 11 years, that's like a long time, man. That seems like too long. Like she'll learn her lesson in like 5 years. Right? I don't know. Would love to know your thoughts on this. Like if you kill somebody, I understand being in prison. Cuz you're like a danger to society. Maybe. We have to look at it like, we'll lead us to listen, it's like you got to take it on a case-by-case basis. But in theory, if you were a relentless homicidal maniac, I understand why you have to be in prison, because you have to protect society from the... Anyway, if you were in a position where it was like somebody was robbing like the last loaf of bread that you needed to feed Tiny Tim, who did not die, then maybe it's a different... Long story short, okay? But like all she did, what did she do? She like lost some money. Get over it. But 5 years. I give her 5 years. Sell. What about SBF? I don't know. Like, this shit's not even real anyway. Doesn't make any sense to me. What was he doing? Like, highly illegal stuff? Using customer deposits to, Juice returns, and then it all came crashing down like all Ponzi schemes do eventually. 7 years, okay? Think of the investors. Why can't you just print money to make them whole? We've done it before. I just don't get it, I guess.
Nice shot.
Not the best lie. What? Out of bounds? I'm sorry. I'm rooting against you. Everybody taking shots right now. I'm rooting against you. Bogey, bunker. I saw Joe went OB, so this is probably for a bogey. Joe with the bogey. Silver with the bogey. Careful of John Golf. Who is John Golf? I love the hair, brother. What a chip. Okay, we're watching. It's a... Oh, dude, that was an insane chip. Holy cow. Horrible reference. What? You don't like... Are people... Oh, they canceled Ayn Rand? When did I miss that? Oh, in the 1970s? Oh, okay. All right, if you say so. Like you're perfect. Like you've never written a 1,000-page masturbatory critique of a guy you made up in your head, filtered through an allegory of like only one man has the skills and shoulders necessary to build a railroad. It's not like it just literally takes like money and a pen. What is this bit? I don't know. I've never read the book. This shit is like 3,000 pages long. All I know is that when I was in high school, like it was a national scholarship. It was the highest value scholarship on like the scholarship aggregator I used. If you won the Ayn Rand Atlas Shrugged essay contest, you got like a $10,000 scholarship for your first year of school. Which at Canadian universities at the time was literally like double 1 year's tuition. So I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I never did it because you have to read like an insanely long book and then win an essay contest. I was like, I want to meet the kid who won it. So I feel like there's only two ways it could go, right? One is they're young Sheldon. And the other one is they're like, dude, I got him. They bought it, bro. They bought it. Lol. Get your libertarian dad to write it for you? Bro, my dad is not a libertarian. I don't even know what he is. He complains about everything. We're just alike. He's just a guy who doesn't eat mayonnaise. You're exactly right. He's just a guy who, every time we go to a restaurant, he orders like a hamburger, but he has to grill the waitress first and be like, hey, so there's a special sauce on this. Is this like mayonnaise based? And they're always like, yeah, I think it's like an aioli. And I'm like, I'll stop you right there. He doesn't know what that means. We'll get it with no special sauce. What's his beef with mayo? I don't know, honestly. It's like, I think it's just gone on long enough that that's like, it's who he is now. And that's fine. He ain't heavy, man. He's my brother. Come on, please. I don't think we're making it to the finals. I'm just going to say it, Toddzilla 3000. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. I don't think we're going to be in Rush Hour 3 here. I will say I'm not like... I'm not anti-mayo. I'm not pro-mayo. But the most disgusting thing on the planet, as long as we're talking about things that are really just minor in the whole scheme of things, people who get 2 lines of mayonnaise or more on their Subway sandwiches. Hey, Katie likes eggs. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. I hope you're not a 2-line mayo enjoyer, but thank you. Thank you. We're not making it. Best of luck to Joe in his quest against John Golf. Like 1 line of mayo. And listen, I don't make the rules. 1 line of mayo I think is fine, even though I don't get it. I'm a 0-line mayo enjoyer. But I also feel like a flavored mayo is not additive. Like, you can get 1 line of mayo and then, like, 1 line of, like, a ranch or, like, a chipotle or something like that. And for some reason, I don't make the rules, I just observe them. That doesn't feel like that's too gross, even though obviously they're made up of like the same ingredients. But like, oh, dude, 2 lines of mayo. It's just something about the way it sits, man. You know what I think? For me, it's like if they Tezonde, the celebrity Tezonde.eth, if they had like the bread and then they put mayo on it and they took one of the Subway knives and went like scrape so that it was like a layer of mayo. For some reason, that doesn't bother me as much. But when it's like 2 rails of mayonnaise and they have a contour, they're beveled and embossed, and they're just sitting there like, here I am. I'm like, that is gross, man. Shit grosses me out. I don't know. I know it doesn't make sense, okay? How much time do you spend watching other people's subs? Well, like 10 minutes, because they all take fucking forever to order their sandwiches, because they all think they've got the one secret, ooh. Can you do a little toast and then put the cheese on it and then do a real toast? For mommy's special boy? Can you put exactly 3 cucumbers on it, please? It's OB! I thought I would just be in the rough. Listen, one of you motherfuckers an hour ago said, try going left on this hole. I did it, it worked out, and I've fucked it up every single time since. You piece of garbage. You bamboozled me. Like in Bedazzled. You bedazzled me. I said I wanted to be in the NBA. You said, guess what? You're in the NBA, but now you have a tiny penis. Listen, if you had to choose in Bedazzled, if you've never seen Bedazzled, please just be silent for a minute until you watch the classics. If you had to choose which cursed Brendan Fraser you would be from Bedazzled, which one would you be? The author who's incredibly rich and beloved but happens to be gay. Okay, that's a great answer, honestly. The drug lord? What was his problem with being a drug lord again? Like, it couldn't have been ethical constraints. Like, my man is doing deals with the devil. The devil! He's like, I'm making a deal with Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies. But, also, selling drugs is too much for me. Oh, Jesus Christ. I quit. Maybe I am a little tilted. Honestly, I'm just going to say it. Why didn't he just stick with the NBA one? I forget why. Like, didn't he say he wanted to be a professional basketball player? She could have done a lot worse. She could have put him in, like, you know, the G League or something like that and then given him a huge penis. Instead, she put him in the NBA and he was like a celebrity. But he just had he had a tiny, you know what? So what, brother? You got nobody's got everything. He was also dumb. Dude, that's a bonus. I'm just saying, that one didn't seem that bad. Anyway, I guess at the end, he outsmarted the devil, so it kind of like worked out for him. Let's restore some belief.
Nice shot.
That's 4. Still might be good. Good bounce. Bad bounce. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's actually like an insanely plausible chip in. What did I tell you? Extremely chippable. Oh my God, I just got it. They yell fore in golf because they're filling up the full golf meter. True. Very true. I finally got that. +2. Just got back from watching Bedazzled. The movie looks pretty bad. Yeah, it's one of those movies I would say is not good. But if you were like 13 when it came out, you're like, this is one of the best comedies that's ever come out. And I was around 13 when it came out, so it sort of just... I like it. I got a soft spot for it. Bedazzled slander will not be tolerated. I mean, it's not that good. It's not horny bait. I just happened to be 13 when it came out. That's just, it was right place, right time. She do be lizzing on my Hurley till I Brendan. So true. So true. Is Elizabeth Hurley canceled? I thought she had kind of like one of those Vanessa Hudgens moments. Sure, like, people are gonna die, but like, inevitable maybe? No, she did not own slaves. Just stop. Not every bad person is that bad, okay? No, I believe Vanessa Hudgens did an Instagram live around COVID popping off in March 2020, where she was like, I don't get it. People are gonna die, but like, inevitable maybe? She thought about it for a second, and then she went, it's the best way to phrase this. She was mad that Coachella was canceled. Oh, well, no, listen, I don't hold it against her then. I thought she was just making a stand for no reason. I didn't realize there was, like, you know, an underlying trauma behind it. By the way, if I lived in America, you could catch my ass at Target every damn day. Does Target have a patent on the only good shopping cart ever made? The shopping carts are always great. They're always smooth. I don't know, like they have a mechanic in the back or something he's taking out all the gravel and stuff. Also, we stayed in the US for 2.5 days. I went to Target because I was like, oh, we're staying in a hotel with a fridge. Let's get some stuff, you know. Let's get some juice. Let's get some beef jerky. Let's get some fruit for, you know, my daughter. I bought like $60 worth of stuff. I couldn't stop putting shit in the cart. So I was like, normally I don't get beef jerky. I go in there. They're like, hey, here's like a pound of beef jerky. It's like $6. I'm like, I'd be a fool not to get it, man. And the cart's so satisfying to drive that I just kept driving around. And then I was spending even more stuff. I was buying even more. I was buying dried blueberries, dried mangoes. I got some goldfish. I got some cold brew coffee. And you know what's crazy? It really is a land of opportunity or whatever. Oh, this cold brew coffee I've been drinking for like 2 years. I thought it was local, made in Vancouver. I go down to Target. Not only do they have it, they got 4 varieties of it. They got black coffee, they got subtly sweet, they got a little sweeter, and they got a light roast. In Vancouver, we're only getting 2. So I picked up a flat of those. Like, you'd have to be stupid not to. Did you get a sleeve for that Lugia card? Yep, it is sleeved up, and it will be sitting in a closet, I'm sure, until the 2040s. When it is discovered by somebody who says, wow, this is sleeved, it must be worth a lot of money. And then they look it up and they found out that sometime in the 2020s, the bottom fell out of the Pokemon market. Kids are really into like vintage Paw Patrol merchandise. Turns out that the Pokemon trading card company actually was printing 10 times more mythic rares than they said they were going to print. So there's way too much supply, and it turns out to be worth nothing. They're like one day maybe, so they put it in a big Rubbermaid container, and then every single time they move for the next 10 years, they go, I should really just like give this to the Salvation Army or something, but I'm just going to keep moving it, and then they're going to die, and then like maybe one day the cards will just decay. What about your Austin Powers cards? Those are safe. Those are still in the... I haven't opened a single one yet. They're still in the booster box. A lot of people don't know. This is the Austin Powers collectible card game. It's rated PG-13, open parentheses, not for the kids. There are 30 11 card booster packs in here. So this is, you can see Seth Green. Seth Green, of course, played Scott Evil, and that's Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun. She played Ivana Humpalot. And then, of course, we can see Mike Myers and Vern Troyer as Fat Bastard and Mini-Me. And then there's another Mike Myers as Fat Bastard there. I forget who plays Frau Farbissina. I knew her name at one point. I don't know it anymore. Pretty good value, honestly. No Heather Graham on the side. Now that's a little crazy. Mindy Sterling, of course. She was in the sequel. Bro, that's the fucking sequel. I can't believe you saw Fat Bastard on the box and you try to power-splain to me. You try to powers. You saw Fat Bastard Mini-Me on the box. And you said, oh, that's Austin Powers 1. Do you even know what the fuck you're talking about? Austin Powers 1 does not contain Fat Bastard. The Fat Bastard role of a secondary villain is played by Random Task. Who throws a shoe? Honestly. That really hurt. They should get Richard Kind to do the Kind Bar ads. But here's the thing. One of the reasons Kind Bars go so hard is because they put their money into the ingredients instead of putting their money into getting mega celebrity endorsements like superstar comedian Richard Kind. I know that there are more quote-unquote real granola bars than Kind Bars. But like, I've had those RX bars, the ones that are like, there's 6 almonds, half of a tablespoon of cashew butter, and an egg white in this. And they taste like fucking garbage. They taste like compost. Now, a Nature Valley granola bar, I'm pretty sure they just drizzle some honey on some sawdust. And I don't really know what's going on in the Builder's Bar Factory, because, like, whatever's inside of those bars is not real. I eat them now and then, but it's like, I don't even know. It's like protein nougat or something like that. For me, the Kind bars are, like, right in the middle of, like, it's got real stuff in it, but it's fake enough that it still tastes good. I'm for them, dude. Every once in a while, my mom, when she comes over, she's like, "You gotta try these I think they're called One bars. They have 1 calorie in them." Every single one of them, no offense, Mom, if you're watching, every single one of them that I've eaten has been amongst the most foul things I've ever put in my mouth. They're not like, it's like a quote unquote like diet food. So they're like, you can't eat like waffles with maple syrup on your diet because that's not good for you. So what we'll do is we'll make like a loaf that kind of tastes like waffles and maple syrup. And my mom will be like, you got to try it. It tastes just like waffles and it's 1 gram of sugar. And then I eat it and I'm like, it literally tastes like, I don't even know. It's like someone put sorbitol on like a little paintbrush and they like just paint your tongue with the sorbitol. They're probably not good for you, but you know what protein bar goes insane? Dr. Robert Irvine's Crunch Bar. Dr. Robert Irvine protein bars. I mean, they're coated in chocolate. They have like caramel in them and whole peanuts and then like a layer of nougat. They're mighty tasty though. That's just candy? Yeah, but it's like they sprinkled some whey protein on it. It's like a candy bar with 35 grams of whey isolate. Fit Crunch protein bars. Hey, look, Chad, you can't be mad. They're gluten-free. They're gluten-free. Gluten-free 18-pack. Peanut butter and chocolate chip cookie dough flavor. Oh, man. That is so good. Get serious about your health with Dr. Robert Irvine's gluten-free peanut butter and chocolate chip cookie dough flavored protein bars. Yes, I'm very pro gluten. Yes, he does have a Kitchen Nightmare style show. It's called Restaurant Impossible. It's exactly the same as Kitchen Nightmares, except he's on steroids. Sorry, he's old. He's on testosterone therapy. No, dude, he's just been working out for his whole life. That's how he had 24-inch biceps. With one vein thicker than my aorta that goes down the middle of each one. Excuse me, gluten kills thousands of people every second, but sure, I bet you like it when your bread is stretchy. Insanely good bait. As the smartest streamer, I will not fall for that bait, but I will endorse your bait because other streamers will fall for it. I remember once I did work at a senior center, and I used to take the bus home. And then one day, my coworker, who was a volunteer, was literally like 87 years old, was like, "Don't take the bus today. I'll drive you home." I got in the passenger seat of her like 1986 Dodge Shadow. She's driving me, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm safe right now. Then she starts telling me about how like if she literally eats like a piece of bread, she has to go to the hospital. And I'm like, okay, this next left up here. Okay, that's good. No, it's close. We're in the neighborhood. Thanks so much. I don't want, no, because if you get stuck in the cul-de-sac, you'll never get out. I'm just going to call it like I see it on this one. This is not a good-looking quesadilla, in my opinion. Where's the goop? The cheese has got to be a little gooey. Why is it all... This looks like... When we were staying at the hotel we stayed in, they had a continental breakfast. I was so excited because I actually wake up for the first time in my life, like at 5:08 a.m. when it's open. They said hot breakfast every morning. I go down, I pull up the cloche. You know what they got in there? Individually wrapped Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage sandwiches. I was expecting at least like some scrambled eggs or something like that, maybe some potatoes. Disgusting. In the plastic, inside of like a sous vide water bath or something. Oh man, what a disaster. Anyway, I had one every single morning. I wasn't happy about it. This is what is reminding me of this, because I was like, it's supposedly made of real meat, real eggs, and real bread. Why is this shit so uniformly circular? Like there's not even there's no deviation from the radius, you know? Everything is a damn circle to the extreme. It was too perfect. Hi, honey. You just want to see me? Hi, honey. Did you have a bath with mommy? Yeah, thank you, mommy.
I want it.
You want to sit on daddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mommy's been a super mommy. While mommy was looking after baby, I cleaned daddy's bathroom, and then I ordered her favorite food, then gave her a bath while I was cleaning the upstairs bathroom.
Wow.
How does she do all three things at once?
They what you want.
What do I want? Well, first off, I'm going to say thank you, mommy. Thank you.
About that food.
What food? This one right here? What's that?
That's just nugget.
Those are chicken nuggets. What's this?
Great
Grapes. What are these?
cookies.
Cookies. What, do you know these?
Quesadillas.
Quesadillas. That's a really good guess, honestly. Those are pancakes, but they look a lot like a quesadilla. What's this?
Grapes.
What's
that?
This one?
Yeah.
That's tough, right? These are beans. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Banana.
Banana. That's a mango, silly.
I love that.
Yeah, mommy loves mangoes. What's this?
Chicken.
Chicken? That's a really good guess, honey. It's turkey.
Turkey.
Here, let's see if we can find one that you might enjoy here.
Is there like a Peppa Pig quiz?
Yo, great idea. Baby's first Sporcle. Peppa Pig. Name the Peppa Pig characters. Okay, you ready for this, honey?
How about those?
You ready? Okay. Oh, this is just... We'll do it anyway. Okay, who's this?
Those?
That's George. Good job. Who's this?
Peppa
That's Peppa.
Piggies.
Peppa Piggy. Who's this?
That's Mommy Pig.
There's Mommy Pig. Excuse me? Excuse me, Mummy. That's a ripoff. Honey, you guys scammed.
This is the other pig.
Here, we're going to find a good Peppa Pig one for you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, don't rip the mouse pet, okay?
Can you name these Peppa Pig characters? Oh, here we go. Okay, ready? Who is this?
No, it says Miss Rabbit.
Okay, how is she gonna, you move the mouse to,
She can just point.
okay, where's Miss Rabbit?
It is down.
She's at the down.
Okay, we're gonna do it the other way. Who is this?
That is an elephant.
Edmund Elephant. Who is this?
That is Susie Sheep.
Who is this?
That is a pig.
It's just a pig?
Yeah.
What kind of pig is it? Who's this?
That's a pig.
Grandpa Pig. Who is this?
Pedro Pony.
Wow. Who's this?
That is Daddy Elephant.
Daddy Elephant?
Yeah.
What does Daddy Elephant do?
He do a checkup for Peppa Pig.
He does the checkup for Peppa Pig because he's a dentist.
Yeah.
Who's this?
That's the Daddy Fox.
Daddy Fox?
Yeah.
Let's say sure. Who is this?
That's Daddy.
Take a guess. We'll pass, okay? Who's this?
That is Peppa Pig.
Good job. Who's this?
So it's
Dinosaur. Who's this?
Candy Cat.
Who is this?
That's Mommy Zebra.
Who is this?
No, that's not it.
Oh. Who's this?
That is it. That's it. That's fun to watch. Zebra's right.
Who's this? Who's this?
So zebra.
Zoe Zebra. Who's this?
That's Daddy Zebra.
Daddy Zebra. Who's this?
That's for the fox.
Good job. Who's this?
Twins.
Two zebras.
Those
Yeah.
Twins.
Twins. They're in like one episode. That's not bad.
Yeah, Zaza Zuzu.
That was really good. And honestly, she would get Daddy and Mummy. And Richard and Rebecca and Madame Gazelle for sure. For sure.
Let's make the other one.
Wow.
Daddy,
Daddy's on display capture. Let's not touch the keyboard.
Daddy.
Come here. Okay, let's go eat some pasta.
Yeah, pasta time.
No, I'll this one. Look one.
You want to do another quiz?
No, she said she wants the Nook one.
Ah, that was amazing. She was cheating. She was reading the answers. Bro, that would be amazing. She'd be even smarter if she was cheating. I don't know if she knows how to read. That'd be even more impressive, quite frankly. You don't know? Well, how am I supposed to know? Because sometimes she'll like pick up a book and like read a page, and I'll be like, that's perfect. Do you know what it says, or are you just like repeating what you remember from me reading the book to you? So then I'll like point to a word and be like, what does this say? And she's like, like Constantinople. And I'm like, too easy. What does this say? And it's like and she goes, Timbuktu. And I'm like, no shot. You say shit to your daughter? No. But if I did, listen, I don't turn down the music if it has swearing in it, okay? You know why I don't turn down the swearing? Because it's just words. Like, I think it's less offensive for her to hear a song that says the F word than it is for me to lie to her and have her listen to some garbage like pentatonics. I'm not gonna like ruin her life by getting her into like bad music just because it's family friendly. Remember you talking about this before? Yeah, I know. I still think the same thing. Pick the correct movie actors. Pick the correct movie actors. Pick the correct movie actresses unplayed. Come on! Emma Stone from The Amazing Spider-Man. That would be you. This Easy A, Cruella, Crazy Stupid Love. Halle Berry from Catwoman. You know, every time I see someone post the Catwoman basketball clip, I have to watch it. Obviously, the CGI is like horrendous and like the editing. The funniest thing for me now is that they're playing basketball in front of like a bunch of little kids. And then when she steals the ball from him, she like grinds her ass right up against his crotch. And you're like, you're playing in front of like a bunch of little like fifth graders or something. Like, it's so weird. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Bro, she literally dressed like this in every movie. I thought she only dressed like this in Breakfast at Tiffany's. She dressed like this is just what she looked like? Were the sunglasses like surgically grafted to her skull? She was an icon, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Forrest Gump's mom is you. You know what's crazy? This lady, Sally Field, looked 117 years old to me when I first watched this movie. Now I'm looking at, she's Forrest Gump's mom. I'm like, damn, she's kind of a baddie, dude. I'm old. I'm ancient, dude. That's crazy. Bro, you see Forrest Gump? Yeah, what about the chicken Forrest Gump? Jenny? Nah, dude, Forrest's mom. Tongue rolls out of mouth, then you gotta reel it back in. Anyway, this is E.T. I didn't even know there was a mom in E.T. So this is, I've never seen it. There's no doubt this is gonna be Psycho. And I gotta say, me watching Psycho? Yeah, what about the chicken Psycho? Oh, you mean Janet Leigh, the shower scene? Nah, dude, Norman's mom. That's how old I'm getting here. Anyway, I've never seen it, but I know enough about Psycho to at least make the joke coherent. This is Jack Nicholson. We're looking for Jack Nicholson. Honestly, I watched The Shining of like a decade ago. If I remember correctly, I think that Jack Torrance was mostly, like, I'm not saying he was a good guy, but I think he was trying his best, and mostly he was just kind of like misunderstood. He's not evil. The hotel is inhabited by an evil spirit. He takes a lot of heat for, oh wait, yeah, you're right. He did break his kid's arm, didn't he? Yeah, but Shelley Duvall smoked in the same room as her son. So who's the, I mean, honestly, what, you think you're perfect, Shelley Duvall? We didn't know back then. We didn't know. Okay, maybe they didn't know that breaking people's arms was like not something you should do. I don't know. Would love your thoughts on this. Tom Cruise. A lot of people don't know this. They think he only recently started doing his own stunts. That was really him at the blackjack table. They put a hidden camera in Dustin Hoffman's vest pocket, and he actually learned how to count cards for that scene. He's banned from every casino on the Strip right now. Then he drove a motorcycle off the top of the Luxor, and at the peak of the jump, ditched the motorcycle and did a base jump. And he landed on the viewing deck of the Eiffel Tower at the Paris Hotel and Resort. Your enemy is Michael Fassbender. Your enemy is Cerebro. Your enemy is the Joker. My mother-in-law got my daughter a bunch of, they're like DC Super Friends little miniature toys. I was laughing. She doesn't really have her finger on the pulse of what like a 2-year-old is invested in. There's like a little Joker miniature figurine. I'm like, you got my daughter playing with the Joker? She's 2 years old. You know what she did? First thing she did, she put the Joker in the Batmobile and said, I'm driving to school. The mind of a child is so innocent. It came with a Batmobile, Wonder Woman's invisible jet, Joker's car, which is just like a car that's purple and green, some kind of weird motorcycle that Robin rides. Anyway, it's Obadiah Stane. It's been 20 years since I've seen this. Bro, what the hell's this guy doing? What's Agent Coulson doing here? 54%. That's a tough. What do you mean it's not even Agent Coulson? That's motherfucking Agent Coulson, you piece. It's not? Dude, are you face blind? Are you facially blind? That is Agent Coulson. Somebody explain what this movie is. It's not? Bro, it is. That's Agent Coulson. It's from Gran Torino. Okay, hold on. That's not Gran Torino, is it? It looks like he's wearing the $1 Million Baby fit. Here's what I'm going to do. Agent Coulson, IMDb. Clark Gregg. Bro, it's 100% this guy. Okay, and I'm taking it back to the mid-2000s. Iron Man. Hoot. When a Stranger Calls. He played Ben Johnson, the sprinter? Okay, this is messing with me because I don't see the movie I'm looking for. But that's his face, dude. That's his face. Gran Torino. I'm going to Gran Torino. And then I'm looking at the cast. This is not Christopher Carley as Father Janovich. Listen, I know that you're going to be like, it's the guy. Look at this. You're telling him this is not the guy. There's no shot. It's this guy on the left here. No chance. It's Brian F.O. Byrne from $1 Million Baby. Brian F.O. Byrne. Yeah, he looks very similar. He looks very similar to Agent Coulson. I got to give that one to you. He looks very similar, man. They must be related. Like, is there a trivia section where it's like, he often gets mistaken for Agent Coulson? Probably. I'm not going to look for it, though. Knowing, which means we're going to start on Nicolas Cage, and we're trying to get to Chris Hemsworth without going through Thor, Zoe Saldana without going through Marvel, Chris Pine, or Zachary Quinto, or Eric Bana. And that's the interesting one for me, is Eric Bana. Okay, we're going to try today's daily challenge. Knowing, give me a moment here. Okay, so this is about where we call it. Ben Mendelsohn, I can only go through Star Wars. I like him, but I can only go through Star Wars. Rose Byrne is in Neighbors with Seth Rogen, who is in Funny People with Eric Bana, who was in Star Trek 2009. That's a good one. That's a very efficient link. We didn't go through Nicolas Cage from Knowing, which is a little bit rare, but he's back. Please, it's Banner? No, it's Banner. He's just Australian. And just because he played Bruce Banner in the Ang Lee Incredible Hulk movie doesn't mean his last name changed. Nick Cage, Into the Spider-Verse, Chris Pine. Okay, fine. My personal opinion, voice acting doesn't count as real acting. Wait, hold on, strike that. For this game specifically, I'm not trying to say that they're not like real people or whatever. I'm just saying it's a little easy. I'm just trying to... I'm joking. But then if I went to Into the Spider-Verse, what would happen? Think about what that would do to chat. Because people would bat chest it. And then people who bat chest everything else related to superheroes would be like, wait a minute, don't bat chest Into the Spider-Verse. That's the non-bat chestable. You're about to realize there are no sacred cows here. They bat chest everything. You could be like, I got penicillin for my infection. People would be like, bat chest medicine. Bat chest life-saving medicine. Just ban it? No, I love bat chest. I'm a big fan. Can someone explain bat chest? The way that I look at bat chest is the purest bat chest is when you're excited by something simply because you recognize it. So like in a superhero movie, when you're in the second act and it looks like the heroes are gonna lose, and then all of a sudden, like, you see like a portal open up and like Doctor Strange walks out, and you go, like I do when it happens. That's what bat chesting is. Or if you didn't like The Last Jedi, but then you saw the trailer for The Rise of Skywalker, and as soon as you heard Palpatine's laugh, you went, fuck it, I'm in again, then that's bat chest. Now it has been, because language evolves, it has been like perverted a bit to now like everything superhero is bat chest. But not even just anything superhero. You could be like, new Netflix original movie starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart, bat chest. Bat chest. New season of Love is Blind. Like, you can just use it for everything. Oh my God, is that a Germa soy jack pointing? It's an incredible emote. I love that. And to get the emote to be readable in such a small space, that's incredible perspective work. Holy cow. Germa, bat chest, bat chest. Bat chest is like sarcastic excitement. That's true. Anyway, I'll send you over to my wife's stream. Enjoy yourself, and I will see you tomorrow. It's morbing time. Speaking outrageously, I eat some blood. My name's Dr. Michael Morbius. I practice my craft. Oh, I am not quite morbing. Oh, I am fast in bed. Sorry.